I said, hey,
What do you know about
welcome
this,
to
Jeff?
the Man Cave Happy Hour. I said, hey, welcome to the Man Cave Happy Hour. We're gonna drink a fine whiskey and smoke a really fine cigar.
It is time for Happy Hour, the Man Cave Happy Hour. Whiskey, cigars, spirits, the stories that go along with it. I'm Jamie Flanagan.
I'm August Gitschlag.
Oh, we are one Fox Light today.
Yes, but we have a suitable replacement.
Oh yeah,
An expert of his own means.
oh yeah,
Yes, we have Mr. Barry Mulsel of Triaxle Meads here.
yeah. Comeback. Don't call it a comeback.
He's been here before. Absolutely.
Been around it.
And
Yeah.
he's been around booze most of his life. He makes it. He makes beer, makes mead. You've distilled. I've run a still with you in a garage once in an undisclosed location.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And all right, so we're in the magical back room of the wine garden.
That's soon to become another magical location we're not at liberty to discuss.
Yeah, I don't know if he's
I don't know if we can talk about it,
that.
but it's going to get really cool in this space.
Yes.
Since we figured to do a last hurrah here in one of our favorite little glorious caves of, you can see the back behind us.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's a little bit of everything that they've ever sold here.
Yeah.
And Big Tony is so generous and so kind
Mm-hmm.
that he just says, if it's open, you can try it.
Yeah.
And then puts 4 bottles of Barrel Select stuff here and says,
Yeah,
please
you-
try it.
Please try these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
you wanted to, they have an old Forester barrel that's just crazy and it's fire.
I mean, these 3 things are the exact opposite of the stuff we're about to put in our system.
So today's topic is ankle biters.
Yes, I
I
treated
came up
it
with that
as
idea.
the shit we drank when we were kids. It wasn't very good.
Poor choice.
I almost brought a can of Molson Triple X down here too, just because that was the other thing I used to drink when I was younger.
That would have been a walk down memory lane right
For
there.
doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made me, this whole theme made me think of my first ever hangover.
Yeah.
And I was at we'll get into story time with Uncle Augie right away.
Okay.
I didn't drink really in high school at all.
Yeah.
I didn't drink much in college until I was a junior. And I was about 20 years old. I think I decided I was going to drink once. It was going to be the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I went to the Aardvark in Windsor and drank my weight in Bud Dry. Something you don't even see anymore. It doesn't even exist. My head, I was the most miserable Thanksgiving dinner 20-year-old ever.
Budweiser's notoriously hangover ridden. Yeah.
Especially 29 years ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So thinking about this stuff, I was like, my first thought was, what was the stuff under my grandmother's sink growing up?
So we took
You know?
2 different approaches to this.
Yes, we did.
Because the rule was, let's find things under $20 and see what we can do.
Right. Well, this stuff is under $20. I just got small amounts of it because we weren't going to drink a fifth of it.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah.
You had to work pretty hard to find stuff under a $20 bill.
No. Hey.
Well,
Of course, I don't look on those shelves very often anymore.
Yeah,
but
these ankle
by
biters.
looking at what's here, I mean, I took the approach of what we drank that was cheap when we were kids.
Yes.
Everything's relatively cheap now. I mean, then it seems like it was so cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember buying bottles of Redbreast for $45. Now you double that to get it off the shelf, you know. But yeah, some of the stuff like Evan Williams to me was always I thought was a good whiskey.
Yeah.
And you got
actually,
under $20.
That's it was 16 for just the black label.
Okay.
They have a white label, and this comes out of Heaven Hill. And the white label is bottle and bond, so it's 100 proof, and it's 4 years old. The whiskeys in it are at least 4 years old, and it's nice that Evan Williams, the white label, but it was $21.99.
Didn't qualify.
I was like, should I break the rule? And I'm like, no. So I went with the Evan Williams, the black label, and
I had the spirit of the rule, meaning this was the cheap stuff that we drank because we had access to it when we were younger.
Yeah.
You know.
So I think both of those at fifths are still. I know Southern Comfort is $16.99. I looked at it.
I am heartbroken that I could not find which was the staple that my dad and my uncle would drink at my grandmother's house. That a black velvet. And I told my dad, and I go, Dad, you want to come? He goes, oh man, that's the best Millwright whiskey ever. The Millwrights at the factory drank that. They drank that like crazy. And I'm like, you always had a bottle of it in a grandma's sink. And him and my Uncle John would drink Black Velvet and De Kuyper apple schnapps.
Oh boy.
And I looked for that too. And I think you're both welcome. I didn't find it.
Yeah.
Because Stash, now Tokororo, they used to have a special there. Black Velvet and Carlin's Black Label, black on black for like $7. and I thought it'd be so cool to try Black Velvet. It wasn't cool. It was terrible.
Oh my god!
My dad's like, no, I couldn't have been terrible. You had to. It was great. We drank. I'm like, yeah, you and Uncle John drank the shit out of it.
No, they didn't do picklebacks with it.
No, there's no picklebacks.
That was the old
in 1989.
Oh, sure there was. That was the old school dodge with the old dudes. They drink the cheap whiskey and throw back the pickle brine.
Really? You telling me these hipsters didn't invent that?
Oh no, hipsters haven't invented much new. That's why they went to Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Well, it's wearing the hat for it.
Yeah. All right, but so before we get into this shenanigans, what's going on with triaxle mead? You guys,
It's a great loaded question.
You're canning it and
right
selling
now,
it.
Things are a little slow right now. We're kind of in between. We need a building. We need a building, but otherwise, things are fine.
We tried because last time you were on, you dropped off a few cans and took them home. And Colleen, she's very
those are the sangria
spritzers.
Yeah, those are great.
She was okay with it. She liked them. She liked them. She's very persnickety. So she kind of dug them. So is anything new and unique besides the hunt for a space?
No, that's pretty much the long and short of it.
Yeah,
it's
where are they? Because they're only available at your place, right?
No, they're available in various stores. Yeah,
okay.
You can check our website. And
Holiday Market still is always really good.
Oh, okay.
What was that little place in Berkeley? That little meat and booze shop.
Oh, the neighborhood shop.
Yeah, that's where I went to go get. I needed to bring some sangrias to a party.
Our stuff, right?
And I'm like, I can get it there.
Park Liquors in Grosse Pointe. And, Zaytuna's on Rochester Road
Jack.
59.
I haven't seen Jack in a minute.
Oh, you got to stop in. If you don't get some bad humor and a bottle of booze, you're not living.
I know.
But things are going well with triaxle meads.
We can't complain.
Can people find where to find it on your website?
It is on our website, right?
Is there a location finder?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Your most recent release was like a peach, right? That's the last thing you guys put out?
Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
A couple other things in the pipeline, but it's going to be a while before they come out.
So it's what's the website?
Triaxialmeads.com.
Okay. Excellent.
And those all taste so much better than what we're about to get ourselves into.
Oh, my goodness. Well, now, the other one I picked was Very Old Bartons, and we've done Very Old Bartons. Mike Dwyer, friend of the show, travel adventure show writer and WPON radio guy, he suggested to that us a long time ago. And we've tried it. We've gone through several bottles in the Podcast Your Voice studios. People like it. People drink it.
I'm glad the two that I grabbed aren't actual bourbons. I mean, Canadian Club is a Canadian whiskey. And that's kind of what we in Detroit and Michigan that was a staple.
Oh, absolutely.
In the liquor cabinets around here,
Oh my God. Yeah.
I think there's always was one with a tax stamp on it still in my
for sure.
It was like floating around. Somebody's got them. Our buddy Eric Anderson inherited his grandfather's liquor cabinet. And at their housewarming party, he was showing me all the bottles with tax stamps still on them that he has.
Yeah.
So
I have a half gallon of Canadian Club, and it's got the tax stamp on it. It's like from 1982.
It's a heavy glass bottle, not that plastic crap right now.
And I'm like,
someone with that.
Is this worth something? Should I?
Yeah,
it's worth nothing.
My aunt had a Crown Royal with a tax stamp on it. I'm like, don't open it. And then I looked around and go, open it.
It's worth finding some 7-Up and getting your business on.
And honestly, you're not going to do anything. It's that those tax stamps are so dry rotted off that they're going to stay on if they're going to fall off anyway.
Oh yeah,
they're just turning to dust.
That's kind of crazy. If I'd have inherited my grandfather's liquor cabinet, it would have been a half-empty bottle of Town Club whiskey because he just drank everything. It didn't get a chance to be passed down.
There's still stuff from my great grandmother's bar in Grosse Pointe. In their Grosse Pointe Park, I don't know where the hell, the woods, some of those. But they had a big bar that had the zebra stripes, and they had that bottle of Galliano.
Oh,
right? And anyone ever flew on TWA first class in the 70s had a bottle of Galliano. And my Aunt Margaret has those tax stamp bottles of old stuff still in their liquor cabinet, and they don't drink. I'm like, well, then give me that shit. The only time, and then
be careful what you ask for.
That's the cousin. Their son is the program director in Louisville, Kentucky, at a alt rock station. So he's a big bourbon guy. He mules bourbon back for my brother all the time. And the only time we ever drink at their house is when Phil's in town and he's bringing good bourbon right from Louisville that we can't get here, and that's all we're drinking. So the stuff just sits there. But
yeah. So I got Southern Comfort stories. I used to, that was my thing back. I would get, is that a half pint?
It's a half pint. Well, it's not going to torture us any more than that.
Yeah. So I would get a half pint, and then like a half liter of Pepsi, and pour it out. Just pour the whole thing. So it'd be a half a Pepsi and then half
Back
just
when
this.
there's 1 liters you used to be able to get of Pepsi and Mountain Dew and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm afraid to go. I'm almost afraid to go in here.
I distinctly remember driving through Harper Woods with one of my childhood buddies who was drinking Southern Comfort and Mountain Dew.
Oh, well, actually, that's what it was made for.
He didn't get diabetes at 18, so you don't care. But that's what he was drinking.
Ooh, Mountain Dew was made to mix with whiskey. That's what it original Mountain Dew was created as.
Is there a story there, a Wikipedia page on that one?
There is, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if we've gone down that rabbit hole on the show before. I know we've mentioned it. I don't know if we've gone so far as to read the whole damn Wikipedia.
I'm going to go down a memory lane that I wasn't looking forward to, but I'm going to do it.
All right. So
when was the last time you had Southern Comfort?
November 1979.
Why do you remember it was November of 79? That's very specific.
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know why that month sticks out in my brain as much as it does, but I want you to understand that I have not been into this stuff since then. Right now, holding this bottle, I'm shaking like a you-know-who in church.
You can swear on this podcast. We're not FCC regulated.
Just trying to... Before the booze hits me, I'm trying to be a little more genteel.
Oh, I poured too much in there. Damn it.
Look at you.
I did too. I really committed.
Shoot.
Oh, that's it.
I should don't nose it. Don't nose it.
I have to.
I did that about 8 years ago, and that was enough.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, guys. To our childhoods and the dumb shit we did.
Yeah.
I'm really shaking.
It tastes like childhood cough medicine.
Yeah, it
that
does.
was sweetened up so that the kids would drink it.
It tastes like teenage trauma to me.
I need a whole thing of Pepsi to drown this in.
Oh, we have some ginger beer around here somewhere.
I'm not gonna.
I literally have ginger beer here. Just my palate of my Hadley Real Estate pint glasses.
I gotta say, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
I expected it to be much worse.
I was really terrified I was gonna throw up. I'm not kidding you. Just the thought of having to drink it.
I was worried. I feel like the last time I tasted it, it was going the other way. It was a long time ago.
Yeah,
it was a college dorm thing.
I really know. I want to know who the sadist is that invented that stuff, because everybody I know has a Southern Comfort store.
But yet they came out with like a SoCo and lime and a SoCo and Coke.
10, 15 years ago.
They were making it. There's different flavors of it. They were promoting the hell out of it.
So
I don't know, man. Is it considered a whiskey? Is it considered a liqueur?
It's a liqueur.
Or is it a spirit? It's a generic spirit. It's a liqueur.
Yeah, it's
got
gateway. Spirit.
It's got to be like a young
with natural flavors.
A 17-year-old girl's whiskey gateway, right? That and Fireball.
Yeah. So it's 1874. M.W. Herron took the harsh whiskeys of the time and mixed them with his own blend of fruit and spices to create a whiskey that could be enjoyed comfortably. Since then, Southern Comfort has been spreading the soulful, vibrant spirit of New Orleans.
What year was that?
1874.
Anybody got a DeLorean?
Yeah. Go back and say, don't do it. Don't.
There was an Irish version of that that we also used to drink. Remember Irish Mist?
Irish Mist.
Wasn't that very much like a sweet?
Sweet.
It was a very sweet liqueur that they would pawn off as a drinkable Irish whiskey at Old Shillelagh upstairs.
It was gross.
R.I.P. Steve. Back when we were 22, 23.
I'm actually going back in. I want to finish this.
No, I'm going to finish it too.
I mean,
a lot of glass for something else, but
nobody's going to call me bitch.
I'm not finishing.
I'm not finishing it.
I'm looking for a dump glass.
Oh man, we have extra glasses around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to get a dump glass. You Phil.
Oh man. Do you remember your first hangover, Barry, and how you got it? How you earned it?
Yeah, I do recall. It was a New Year's Eve. I was drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. I may or may not have been old enough at the time. I knocked down better part of a sixer on that, and that was that. That didn't work out well for me that night.
But the thing is, every time I see you now, you got a nice bottle of ice cold bottle of Pabst Blue Ribbon in your hand.
I like my PBRs.
Came back around to it, huh?
Yeah, that's weird. Like the Southern Comfort's the only thing that ever gave me the willies bad enough that I just couldn't go back to it.
Generic beer, like just beer that's not a craft beer, will headache me pretty quick unless I'm drinking something craft beer. If I have 2 Bud Lights, my head starts hurting. I just can't do it anymore. You know, I wouldn't drink any beer if it wasn't for, you guys that I know that make all the beer. That stuff's good. So, you all right there, buddy?
Yeah.
You look like you're sweating.
I'm sweating. Yeah, it was some meat sweats from the pulled pork sandwiches. But
right.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so we started with probably the worst first.
Well, that's it. It's out of the way, man. Because the rest of these are enjoyable, relatively speaking.
Yes. I'll speak up for Canadian Club.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Olympia room in the downstairs of the old Joe Louis had like the premium Canadian clubs? They had like top one. Like, I didn't know that existed until
Dijon Canadian Club.
Single barrel blended whiskey. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make sense. It's not real. All right. So
Canadian we go Canadian Club next?
All right. Then we'll go bourbons.
All right. Then we'll go to the bourbons.
I remember I used to go to a local watering hole a couple years back that I actually might visit tonight for a burger named Club FT. And my original drink there was a CC and a Coors Light back in the day.
Very nice.
And then I started hanging out with jokers like you, and you get all spoiled when you're bringing in these. You get up this wall of stuff behind me.
Oh my
goodness! It is hard to take a step backwards.
It really honestly is. I mean, no offense to Detroit River whiskey here, right? But man, it's just not. It's not.
Smells like the Detroit River.
That's.
Or maybe it was because I rinsed my glass out.
My buddy
Clair Shores water.
Christos was always. He called it Detroit. Give me Detroit River.
Yeah,
I want a Canadian Club, Verner's, a little bit of bitters, and then Eric Anderson did it without the bitters.
All right.
That was his version of the Detroit River.
I wouldn't get pissed if somebody poured me a glass of this.
Yeah, I'd call him cheap.
What am I calling?
Oh yeah,
you can't get away with it, but seriously,
I'd almost try the Southern Comfort again.
It just, really?
No,
thin.
Thin. That's the word.
Thin.
It doesn't have much mouthfeel, right? It's very.
It's thin. And these things tasted so much different when you're 21 years old, and you're stealing it out of a liquor cabinet. Is how you're getting it.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh my god. Well, or because your older siblings already stole and it was so watered down.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those.
They refilled the bottles.
Or you worked in a store that sold liquor.
Yeah, there you go.
Oy.
And because you're a good Catholic boy, you stuck money in the till, but you still hustled it out the back door.
Is it really stealing? It's not really stealing.
I was all right with it.
It's improper acquisition, maybe.
Yeah,
but
my buddies worked at a little Polish market on Kelly in Detroit for high school, and they would. It was always they always stole the cheap stuff. They always stole Wild Irish Rose.
Why the hell would you steal cheap stuff?
Nah, because I figured like no one would miss it. Right? It's the least counted.
That's not bad logic. There.
16 and working at a liquor store.
So we did actually. I remember doing beer runs. You run and you underage. You grab and run, and we're just run with it.
Well, we never stole our beer runs. We just pay someone outside the liquor store to buy it for us.
No, we
not even drink it. It's facilitated.
We just use the liquor stores in Pontiac. Oh, the liquor stores in Pontiac. We just walk in and buy it.
Yeah,
they charge us a couple extra bucks.
Around here, it was the liquor stores in 8 Mile. Yeah, just go to 8 Mile and do what you wanted.
Oh, you're on the short list for the VP, so you can't.
I'm being vetted right now.
You can't.
The Harris team is vetting me right now.
You can't, admit to felonious actions.
And just like everybody else on MSNBC this morning, I will take the call. I fully endorse the current the president here, vice president, and if they recall, I will have the conversation. But I think there's much more qualified people out there, just to be honest.
Not many. All right. But anyway, thank you for that. Let's get back to religion. Okay.
Yes. Back to religion.
So you were an altar boy.
No, my grandmother would have loved to have seen that, but I was too much of a rebel.
I was an altar boy.
Were you?
Oh, yeah.
My parents didn't want to go to church, so they wouldn't let me be an altar boy.
It was crazy, man. I remember being in 5th grade, and so you'd be the altar boy, and you're like, you're gonna do Tuesday mass, and so you do the 10 o'clock mass and 9 whatever it was.
That's my friends did it to get out of class. Yeah.
But I mean, and the church was like on the other end of the block,
Yeah.
And so it was just like, oh, at 10 to whatever. And you jump up out of class and you're altar boy for the day. And then you go and just walk down the street. But it's just amazing. It's like the 5th grade, leaving school on your own,
just walking
a block in the city. And then, drink a little church wine and then come on back to class. I never drank the church wine in 5th grade.
So
in 5th grade, did you hear the disclaimer there?
Yeah.
I can tell you that I do distinctly remember Evan Williams being on my great grandmother's bar.
Oh yeah.
That's always been, it's an old name. It's been around.
Yeah.
The Barton, I've not heard of this. Very old Barton. So
I forget where it comes from.
We're going to try it by which one is the cheapest, technically.
So Very Old Barton's coming in $19.99, and the Evan Williams is at $16.99.
Oh boy, so that's it.
Here at the Wine Garden, I think Tony has them at manufacturer suggested retail, whatever that is.
I really would have got the black velvet, but the only way they had it here was in the half gallon. I have no use for that after this.
If you're drinking black velvet, you're drinking it by the half gallon.
Yeah,
the people that are drinking it are drinking.
I was going to grab the McMasters because I think that's kind of a replacement for it.
That would have been adequate.
That is that's the Hamtramck Labor Day Festival whiskey of beer tent choice. All right.
So I love the off brand. Like you don't have Captain Morgan's. You got Admiral Jerry.
Sailor Jerry is decent stuff.
Oh, Sailor Jerry.
Jerry's that's 100 proof though.
There's an Admiral something.
I'm sure there is.
Awful.
All that spice stuff is disgusting.
Really?
I
like the Kraken.
I love Kraken. Kraken and ginger ale was a staple of COVID.
It's funny. I'll drink this cheap Canadian whiskey, but I've got a real snob on about spiced rums. I just never had one that I liked.
I've dumped one bottle of booze out in my life that I've said I have this and this is never going to get drank again. And it was like a Bacardi Gold spiced, and it was just the worst. Gross. I couldn't even mix it with anything without it tasting like brake cleaner. Yeah.
So this is from the Heaven Hill. Evan Williams is Heaven Hill.
Who was first? Because did these guys buy each other? I mean, there's got to be a story here that it's usually Matt Fox's job.
That's really what it is. It's early acquisitions. I mean, we're not even talking about recent.
No, we're not. Yeah, some of these names went dead in the 70s and the 40s.
Yeah.
Didn't come out of Prohibition, All right, Evan Williams.
Well, Evan, how you doing?
I think I had this at my lawyer's house. All right, I'll drink that over the Canadian Club all day.
I'd drink either one. I would.
Well, you're not a picky man.
Yeah.
Youthful.
Okay, that's one way of putting it. Fresh. Yeah.
Fresh.
Are you going to
get some new whiskey? I'm tired of this old whiskey around here. You get some new whiskey?
Something fresh out of the barrel.
That's right. Give me some fresh wine. This old wine.
Yeah, it's pretty rough around the edges.
It tastes like grandma's basement.
Yeah.
Smells like it too.
But $15.99 if you're mixing it or whipping up.
I don't know. I guess it's a utility bourbon.
I'm trying to think what I would mix it in, but
ginger ale.
Yeah, nothing else.
Well, we're getting some bananas now.
Yeah, like this ginger beer here
on the second
probably
sip.
Go really nice with this.
Getting a lot of banana in the second sip. BANANA.
I suspect that wasn't intended. Let's see.
Yeah, it's
distilled from a time-honored formula originated in 1783.
Ooh.
The heart of Kentucky's bourbon country. Bourbon is aged and charcoal filtered for a smoother, more complex flavor. Would you call this a complex flavor?
No,
because I wouldn't either.
No. Well, now there's this one, but then there's the white label, which is 100 proof. So the Evan Williams
by bourbon lovers, huh?
Okay. Heaven Hill, they have the white labeled one, bottled and bound 100 proof. And Tony was like, "Get that one." He goes, he goes out at the price to taste and value. He goes, that is the best value in the store, and because he charges way too much for it. No, I'm teasing. Tony's got good prices. I'm just kidding.
Tony's right there.
But
I've seen much worse than Tony.
They're about $80, $90, $100 bottles and up from there. But the Evan Williams 100 proof is on the shelf here, $21.99. And he goes, I said, well, I'm trying to keep it under 20, so that's why I'm going to the black label. He's like, well, he's the black label's good and it's all right. He goes, but the bottle and bond, there's a lot more flavor and there's much more of a profile. So if you'd imagine this with a little more profile, that would be the bottled and bond.
I mean, according to the bottle here, it's the Kentucky's first distiller of bourbon was Evan Williams, 1783. I mean, that's the bottles talking.
All right.
It's not me. So,
Kentucky.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean,
that's the bottle talking.
You could argue though that they didn't have any choice back then, because if this was the first one, if they had a second one, they might go to that.
Yeah.
Because I get a distinct acetone note off of this. That I find really off-putting.
Oof. You want a kettle chip?
Yeah, slide those over here.
That's a really good palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah. These require palate cleansers.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well,
So now the very old Barton we're going to go to next.
can't wait.
Yeah. Getting better. And then we pick something from our wonderful host, Tony, to cleanse all that out afterwards. We'll get something nice.
Yes, we have options. We'll raid the cellar and talk about something. Then we can do a side by side with Canadian Club and Evan Williams, right? All right,
Chips.
We're cracked open.
So the very old Barton, it's a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, aged for
Been there?
4 to 6 years. Sazerac. It's a Barton distillery. It's a Sazerac product.
Frankfort, Kentucky. I ordered a Sazerac the other night, Saturday night. I was in Farmington, downtown Farmington. Ordered a Sazerac at a bar, and they had the whole absinthe rinse on the glass the whole thing, and had that distinct taste of Easter when I was a kid. Black licorice jelly bean.
Oh, I thought, would you guys get drunk when you're a
No.
kid having Easter?
No, the black licorice was always my favorite. The anise flavor was always my favorite growing up. So yeah, I'm like, oh, this is a really nice Sazerac. And then people see Sazerac on the shelf and they're like, oh, Sazerac. Well, it's just the name of the rye whiskey. It's just a rye whiskey. That's all it is. But yeah, real Sazerac is a craft cocktail.
Yeah, I love your Easter analogy there, because when I was a kid, I hated black licorice.
You either love it or hate it.
And then I met Ouzo, and I'm like, why will I drink this? I tell you, to this day, I don't understand it. I'll drink it.
But I don't like coffee. But the Ouzo with that little drop of water and the coffee bean is kind of interesting. Or the Sambuca does that. But the Ouzo's
basically the same.
The Sambuca is the same flavor profile.
Rocky, it's all very similar.
Years ago, when I was working at whiskey, we got delivered a Lebanese liqueur that had the pine tree on it, and it was an anise that was delivered accidentally. That happens every once in a while. Someone throws a wrong bottle in the boxes, you get delivered something. You don't say nothing. You don't give a shit. You don't pay for it. You ain't got to send it back. Mm-hmm. And we kept it in that fridge for like 4 years.
Until somebody got brave enough?
Well, yeah, until someone said, well, hey, we got this, and, we'll only charge you $8, even though it wasn't even on the menu, and it was another, but it was the fascinating part was it was a Lebanese liqueur. It was a Lebanese product, which is considered a Muslim country.
Unusual, yeah.
Right? But there is a Christian.
There are Christians in Lebanon.
Yeah. So that's obviously who made it. So, but I just wanted to bring that up because it was interesting. There was a Lebanese Muslim country anise product that we drank.
Yeah.
That's it. All right. Different story, different episode. We'll get to that. So here we go.
Politics, religion, we got it all covered.
Yeah.
So the Great Pumpkin.
The flying
Things you never discuss with people: religion, politics, and the Great Pumpkin. That's Linus's line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the movie. Yeah, come on, guys.
All
right. So very old Barton.
Very old Barton.
Old swine trough.
This is even thinner.
It is.
This is nothingness.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it went.
I think that chip's weighting you down.
It might be the chip.
To me, it smells hotter than it tasted to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also was just drank a ginger beer also a light ginger beer.
Sure.
Light ginger beer. I'm watching my figure. I don't know.
That's
what do you got on that?
90 proof.
Is it exactly what you thought it was going to be? And more? I will not buy this.
It doesn't say caramel color added on that bottle.
It might.
Does it?
You might look deep.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, because I think the Southern Comfort one might.
Well, the Southern Comfort is caramel
That
colored.
might say caramel.
Oh,
I didn't even think
it
about
does
that.
for sure.
Does
It
say
does
caramel?
for sure.
Oh, that's wait. I don't have my
Faux
readers. I'm
show.
old.
Say at the very bottom by your thumb.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oof. There's a reason I bought this size.
Yeah.
Because I knew that's all that would be consumed.
You know, I'm
Listen,
kind of proud of myself.
I'm
No, look,
proud.
you
got
picked it
through
up again. I didn't break into the sweats.
No.
You know?
I didn't have an adverse reaction to it either. I think it was oft abused in those days because it was so sweet and so easy
Oh, it
to
was
drink.
easy, yeah.
And we weren't drinking Jack Daniels yet. We were scared of that stuff. I
No.
was, at least.
I'm still scared of Jack Daniels. I'm scared it's going to make me rich.
Well,
Not a fan.
I did do a shot once, and my buddy did one. We're in a bar in Mount Clemens. So I bought him Jack Daniels, and he immediately threw up into his empty drink
Really?
cup, and they threw him out. And they were like, "Oh, you saw your bar from the bar. You got to go." And he goes outside, and the doorman goes, "You okay?" He goes, "I'm fine. I can't drink whiskey like that. It's the worst." He goes, "Go back in."
Go back.
Because I didn't throw up.
Understanding
Doorman
doorman.
because I was drunk. I threw up because it was Jack Daniels.
That was nasty.
I mean, we were 23, 24 years old or something like that.
So really, not even a second dram.
I'm
on
about to go back
I
in.
went back. A little less shocking than the first sip. Maybe a little less potato chip left over.
All right, more whiskey. I'll take the Evan Williams.
You'd take Evan over the very old Barton.
I think so. I
So-
mean, they're two different proofs. There should
Right.
be two different
Yeah.
heats, but I don't catch it.
Yeah. I'm getting a little more flavor on the Barton.
You're so partial to it because you've had it before.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, you've been experimenting with this for a while.
I don't get that acetone.
Charles will be
note.
happy.
Okay, well, you are the more of the expert than we are. You're
Oh,
professionally
right.
trained in this
Yeah.
stuff and
I'm
how
a
to drink.
professional, all right.
Well, these are destined for the shelf in the Podcast Your Voice studio. So if anybody wants to try it, come on in, record
I
a
feel like we should
podcast,
make
and
marks
drink away.
on the bottle now with Sharpies and see if it ever gets touched.
Oh, it'll go. It'll go.
Oh,
one of the clients at the podcast. Your
Charles loves the very old Barton.
Oh, okay.
The
right.
Rittenhouse. He loves the very old Barton and Rittenhouse, which isn't a very affordable bottle. I think it's only a 26.
Rittenhouse is a rye, though, right?
Yeah.
I can drink a rye all day.
And you know, there's the other thing about this. COVID's still blowing around. If you lose your sense of taste, drink the cheap stuff. Don't drink the good stuff.
Wow, that's what Joe Biden's doing right now.
I literally got
drinking the cheap
advice.
stuff.
When I had the Rona, my buddy texted me. He's sorry to hear you're sick. I got it right. Well, you and I got it at the same time. You know, we got that first round.
Yeah.
My buddy texts me and says, "Don't drink the good booze."
Yeah, we had OG COVID back before there was a shot for it.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time with the good booze.
I never lost my smell. I had a little pizza, not pizza, pennies. I had the copper, like the metal
metallic
mouth,
thing. Yeah.
the metallic mouth, and I was just all I wanted to do was sleep.
I couldn't taste.
And I got a
anything.
sinus infection. I had immediately got a sinus infection.
Yeah, I couldn't taste a thing. And like the few things that I could taste, like coffee. I love my morning coffee. Tastes like acid. I mean, it was really bad. I couldn't.
Do you remember how big of a controversy it was when I got COVID? Because it was election day and I was running around sick and I was losing my voice. And I knew that had to be what it was.
Yeah.
But I blew it off as just I get an annual sinus
I'll
infection.
go get tested tomorrow.
I got my annual sinus infection. No big deal.
Normal stuff for me.
I get one in February, get one in November. No big deal. And they're like, "No, you probably have COVID." And I went to like the one place the city sent me to. And next thing you know, every election worker has to get called. Remember we had to do like the Tracy had to report it.
Oh,
they would the phone tree like a 1982 snow closing of the school.
We had to shut the office down.
Shut the office down. It made the paper.
Hamtramck paper.
Yeah. And then we all got it. And on election night, we all went drinking.
We all went to the bar.
All of us went to the bar. All of us went to the bar.
We had to go see Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're gonna go down in flames.
Bring your friends with you.
And they had just opened the bars.
Yeah.
They had just reopened the bars. So there was that first winter. They opened up the summer, and we figured that's first winter. It's all going to come back around. And sure as shit, it did. All right. Oh, you bleep me? Not supposed to swear?
No.
What happened?
I beat myself. I was sniffling.
Oh, I think that's those
all the COVID talk got you
burps,
sniffling.
burps and sneezes are all like part of the character of this podcast.
Yeah.
I thought, so, all right. So if you have to have one of these on a desert island, which one are you taking, Barry?
I'd have to probably say the Canadian Club.
Really?
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah. If I'm on a desert island, I don't know. He's so old. Right, I would take the Evan Williams and I just cannot. The Canadian whiskey flavor, except for the occasional Crown Royal, I do not
really
enjoy.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I have nothing against blends. I think there's a science to that, to be consistent and having a great blend. There's a Michter's American whiskey that I believe is blended that is just delicious. It's a blue label, and it's like, it's good. It's great stuff. That's why I don't knock Budweiser so much. I might not like it, but every Budweiser I had was equally shitty. It's the same flavor
everywhere around the world.
Everywhere around the world.
Where you get a
and
Budweiser.
There is a certain master of, a genius to that and a good science to that.
There are 6 people's tongues that
that's
determine
Scotch.
that.
That's the Scotch
That's
game.
a cool thing.
Yeah, that's the Scotch game.
Yeah,
really.
Same thing.
Yeah, as I've always had a lot of respect for Sam Adams and the way that they do things and their consistency.
Yeah,
I think I think they make great products. So blending is not a problem for me. I like the bourbon snob world that I'm not a single barrel snob. I don't care. I like a good. I
got to tell you, I'm with you 100% on that. This whole like pineapple on pizza fight. If you want pineapple on your pizza, you eat it. If you want to eat sauerkraut on your pizza, eat sauerkraut on your pizza. If you like a whiskey that other people say it isn't good, go ahead.
How can you mix that with Coke? I'll tell you what, the people that are selling it don't give a rat's ass.
Exactly.
You buy that bottle, you buy a second bottle, I'm happy.
You drink it how you want it.
That was the Old Forester rep. It was like, well, how is your whiskey supposed to be drank? He goes, I don't give a shit as long as you're buying it. You can put it in, pineapple juice for all I care. If you're consuming it and that's how you enjoy it, please.
Ketchup on hot dogs, do it if you want.
I won't go that far.
Oh, I didn't say I'm going to do it, but if you want to do it, you do it.
All right. So what are we going to pick here to cleanse our palates out of all this stuff? Mr. Mulso, you want to be the man? You want to go over there to the stuff that Tony brought out?
Yeah, we should talk about
that. Old Forester. So Tony brought some stuff out. Oh, that Old Forester. Yes. There's this. Oh, it's right there. There's this one here.
See, I don't even have to walk that far.
You don't have to walk that far. So tell us what we have here, Mr. Flanagan.
Well, it's a Brotherhood of the Barrel. That's Tony's brand of barrel picks. The 2 different wine gardens, they split these barrels up. No on that, on the very old Barton. All right, okay. No. This is coming out of Warehouse L, floor number 3, 130 proof, single barrel strength.
That's a lot of proofs.
But so Tony's got these. I said,
those are upstairs right now.
He released them
outside the door and around the corner and back inside.
Yeah, at the wine garden here. I asked how you go. He's sold out. He's like, no, not totally sold out. I didn't see him in there, so maybe it's not sold out for friends or.
One of their barrel proofs here.
He's always got good.
Do you remember the Buffalo Trace picked by women one that had the Rosie the Riveter label on it?
Yeah.
I gave those as gifts one Christmas. That was about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
people loved it. It was a great first. A little bit of a gimmick, yes. In this town, especially, where everyone loves her, Rosie the Riveter. My grandmother was one of them.
For sure.
And she had red hair and she wore that bandana. It was like perfect.
Bless her heart.
Yep.
I had a red-haired grandmother.
Same grandmother that had the black velvet under her and the Kuiper apple schnapps under the sink for my dad and uncle all the time.
Oh, did you get some of this?
No. I will now.
All right. 130 proof. That'll cleanse any palate.
Oh, yeah. Just burn everything right.
I had to scrape the roof of your mouth.
Looks like it's going to empty my palate here. Let's go. Let's do that.
Thank you, Tony.
Yep. It's not me smacking my meat. It's me smacking the bottle.
Whatever.
Wheezing the juice.
Yeah.
I got to say it.
Eesh.
It doesn't sniff like 130 proof.
No.
All right. So after all that, so that's what I was expecting out of one of these, especially the one what's the higher one? This one? Yeah, the 90 proof. That's what I was expecting. This is a whole different world.
Oh yeah, wow. It's hanging on.
I was expecting a real donkey kick, but
no. I got 130 proof.
After that, I got a little of a donkey kick. I did.
Yeah.
A donkey kick. I did not. Maybe I ate a potato chip and then tried again.
Have a chip.
Yeah, have a chip. Have a kettle cooked chip.
No, that was nice. It's not
remarkably smooth for 130 proof.
Yeah.
The good stuff it's scary.
Is that how it works?
I like the Old Forester. I'm a fan of the Old Forester.
And everything they make is good. I think it's the bang for the buck is there with Old Forester. Their rep came
bottled in Bond 1920. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, the birthday, all that stuff. That's a staple.
Give me a Statesman.
That's a staple over there at Butter Run. They love the Old Foresters. Yeah. They have Dave is really good at with the reps and getting access to the stuff that the people can't get access to.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, the guy that was rep, he went somewhere else. He's not with them anymore.
Well, let's get him back and talk about what he's with now.
Yeah, Brian. Because
we had,
Brian. He was.
We had him. Were we in here?
No, we did it in the Podcast Your Voice studios.
Did it in the studios? Okay. The OG studio.
OG studio.
The small studio.
The small studio, yeah.
All right.
Not the palatial new ones.
Palatial palace, yes.
Wow, this is just hanging on. It's still.
I'm breathing it still.
Yeah.
It's what I did not breathe those after I drank them.
Oh, those, yeah, you shouldn't. But this, I'm sorry, this is smooth as silk. I mean, for 130 proof, I really did expect a heavier punch in the nose.
Do we have a price point on this one?
I have no idea.
I made $60 notarizing stuff today. Maybe I'll go upstairs.
Yeah.
Go around the
Pry
corner.
your
There.
wallet open.
Go around the corner there. All right. We have
delicious.
room for one more of Tony's selects here that we get only at the Wine Garden here in Cinco
I'm
Shores.
still fumbling my way
Right
through
here
this
on
old
Harper
Forester.
Just south of 9 Mile, next to Wally's Frozen Custard. Tried to get Matt Ahern on. He's at a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do the 17?
$89.99 plus tax.
$90? Okay.
Yep. For
So the other one is we have a Maker's Mark.
Came out on the
tequila,
12th.
which would kind of change the palate.
Ooh.
I call tequila.
Oh, shoot.
Should we get 3 more? Should we get fresh?
I'll go get
Glencairns?
some fresh Glencairns.
Well, you got one fresh one there, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's one fresh one there. That's unused. Bring over 2. I am making the tequila move in honor of my my lovely partner who can't be here right now, who is a tequila fan and a mezcal fan, but has to get up at 1 a.m. to get on a plane. So she's not here. I'm sorry, my partner's not here. I like to call it partners, so people think I'm gay.
I was about to say. I was going to actually drop a joke, but I thought, wait, it might be too convincing.
You're not. It's not hard to convince people.
No.
Ooh, all right.
So
Tequila,
what do we have
huh?
here? You got the bottle. You're the talker. This one's yours.
All right.
To talk about. What are we drinking?
This is the Corazon. Let's see. Single barrel añejo. And I also am not wearing my readers.
Yeah, play trumpet with it.
Single estate tequila.
Same thing I did.
So all the agaves come from one farm, one estate.
Right.
So that's a unique. That's more of a unique thing.
Well, that's kind of like what our glassware sponsors in the studio, the Firebird guys, do. Don't they go down and get all of it from one spot?
Oh my!
That's a change. That's a horse of a different color.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about cheap tequila when we were kids.
yeah.
Nobody drank tequila in my age group. They thought that was just straight up instant vomit. They just barf.
I went through a real tequila stage in college, so
That's the wrong.
If your tequila is wearing a party hat,
oh yeah,
you are in
Revenge,
trouble.
yeah.
You are in trouble.
So about the party hat. When I
Yes.
was in college, I had a gray cockatiel named Louis. Louis was a player,
that.
and I used to try to get Louis to wear the hat, and he was having none of it.
No,
But
super glue. Staple it on.
I thought maybe a rubber band or something. No, he was not having it.
Oh, this is aged in a bourbon barrel. Exclusive single estate tequila aged in a world-class bourbon barrel.
Where's the
I don't
medallion?
know what a world-class bourbon barrel
Does the medallion tell you?
It tells us Blanton's.
A Blanton's barrel, yeah.
Blanton's is just expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not necessarily delicious. It's okay.
But being able to put that on your label's a big deal if you're selling
Pretty
tequila.
much. Yeah. Pretty much.
Oh, that's smooth. That's nice.
All right.
That's a nice. That is.
I may go back to tequila.
It's not too smoky. Oh man,
These
I had this
añejos.
barrel pick at from Keiko's. This El Mayor. Instead, I forced it on you late night one night. It was kind of wasted.
That was a night, yes.
That was kind of
a
a
night.
wasted share because we were several in on,
Right.
on the evening. But
Tonight, my partner drove you home.
Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm gonna have to get a bottle of this.
Yeah,
It doesn't taste like booze. It doesn't taste like tequila.
no,
It does.
I mean, what tequila is supposed to taste like? Not like the stuff we drank
Right,
when we were
right.
kids. That's all we had access to. You know, if you think that Patron is good tequila, try this.
Well, yeah. I mean, once you get into the reposados and the añejos,
You gotta go
once
dark.
you go into adult tequila.
Yeah.
You know, I am duly
kids
impressed.
out there who are just starting to drink. If you have silver tequila, it's only good for margaritas, and even then, it's garbage.
Don't drink cheap booze.
I'm talking about silver tequila, even if it's expensive silver tequila.
Yeah. Life is way too short to drink cheap booze.
It's I used to have that pin.
Really is.
But especially tequilas, I think are the epitome of that. Like
yes,
they are
can go very badly, very quickly.
Of all the cheap. Look, we sat here and complained about this cheap, this blah blah blah. I bitched about it.
Yeah,
I'll take that over El Toro tequila.
Oh yeah,
I won't even make my friends a slushy margarita with that. I won't do it.
No.
Maybe it's because I'm almost an adult now.
Almost.
So, yeah.
Technically.
I mean, I have a girlfriend and everything. Yeah, I have a job and a girlfriend.
You're brushing closely to adulthood.
I'm so close.
Flirting with disaster really is what that is.
Don't do it. I don't recommend
it. That's nice, though.
Yeah, big. This is what's this one upstairs for?
No, I have no idea.
I keep saying upstairs, but it's like around the block. I have that basement feel with the drop ceiling in
here. It does feel a little
basement. It feels basement to me. It feels basement bar to me. So I keep saying upstairs, but it's literally out the door around the corner. Oh,
I'm buying one.
$45. We're gonna go back and visit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I've had more expensive bottles of añejo that I didn't like as much as this.
So they had a bottle, and I talked to Big Tony about this, of that Myers dark rum aged in the Sazerac barrels.
Oh, yeah.
That they were like, I'm like, this is really nice stuff. He goes, we had to buy it. We didn't buy X amount of it. They wouldn't give us other stuff. Because that's the game. It's all politics. I'm twisting. And this is not a secret that I'm giving out.
How much Fireball do you got to sell?
It's not a secret I'm giving out. That's the game, right? I loved it. I gave a bottle to my old man. Dad's like, this is a sipper.
Really?
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I like a good molassesy rum.
I love rums.
Yeah.
I love them. And I've been kind of hooked on Appleton 12 lately.
If you haven't been to Tokoroa lately, they're at 126 rums on the shelf.
We should go see Connor and his brother.
Should go see old Connor and Dave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're opening an arcade next door. That's coming any minute now.
I heard about that.
Yep.
So pinball or?
Yeah, pinball. All pinball.
All pinball?
All pinball.
Heaven.
All right.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I love pinball.
All pinball. So, all right.
But
this is delicious, guys.
Absolutely. I'm glad we chose that one.
Me too.
You chose that one.
I wanted to go a little different on the end,
Yeah.
So I think the rest of the drinking we're going to do off camera.
Probably. All right. So, Man Cave Happy Hour. Thank you to Tony in the Wine Garden.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here's a cheers to Tony. It's a big
cheers, Tony.
Big Tony's a good guy.
Oh, hell yeah. But if you're anywhere in Metro Detroit, you should go to the Wine Garden.
Oh, yeah. The Wine Garden here in Southern St. And then right next door is one of the best ice cream joints you've ever, custard joints you'll ever go to.
Excuse me.
The Wally's Frozen Custard. That's my old pal, Matt Ahern. Tried to get him beyond tonight, but, I got the other redhead instead. Yeah, right there, Jamie. Did we lose you?
I got the sneezes.
You got the sneezes. Well, all right. Well, we're going to edit this out and post.
Yeah, for sure.
So what else you got going on this week, Barry?
They putting the arm on me to work more. We got an election coming up.
Me too.
I did this really silly thing. I used to have this job where I'd have 9 straight weeks to myself during the summer.
Yeah, I used to be an educator of children.
I was. And suddenly I find myself working at a job where I'm busier during the summer than I am, during that, what we would call the school year.
Well, us clerks, yes, Barry is a clerk as well. We are pushing for a June primary now.
Yes.
Like New York and Arizona and Nevada does.
Yeah.
Just to get our summers back. It's really by the professionals who just want their summers back.
Of course.
And be able to vacation like normal humans.
And the August primary really doesn't make a ton of sense over a June primary either.
Especially with everyone, this is all going to be cut out, by the way. You're never going to see this except for right now.
But basically,
you see this on Facebook, you won't hear this on the podcast.
Basically, with the primaries, the way they're run anymore, the way the delegates are allocated and such, the election's over early.
Well, that's the presidential primary.
Right.
I'm talking about the August regular primary.
Congressional and
yeah, they're going to move all those up to June.
That's the same sort of thing. It really should go.
And Chris Swope, my dear friend from Lansing, said, "Sure, second Tuesday in June. I'm not running 9 days early voting over Memorial Day weekend. Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
Good point. So this gave you a whole bunch of useless content for a different podcast that you can edit out and post.
Perfect.
All right.
Like, subscribe, leave a comment.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I think we started another podcast. We just created it.
We might have, yeah.
Yeah.
That one would be dangerous. Politics and whiskey?
Well, not politics. Election administration.
Election administration.
And whiskey.
Indeed. Yeah, it's much more noble when you put it that way.
All the delegates are released, in case you don't know. That's how it works.
They're all out there.
They've all been released. Anyway.
Let the pigeons loose.
Yeah, the pigeons loose. Thank you, Jamie Flanagan, for setting this up here in Tony's man cave.
Thank you. Picking that tequila.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, solid move.
I'm proud of myself.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for the free booze. Always a pleasure. You don't even have a full glass, do you?
I have a glass.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a cocktail. A little bit. It's been one of my favorite boozes of all time. Favorite drinks.
Boozai.
Look, you look back here, you're gonna find something that's your favorite of all time, and I have one, and happen to have some. So,
and they say
that was my opener.
They say Disney World is the happiest place on earth.
It is.
No,
it's goddamn magical.
This is it.
I'll tell you what. Maybe that's what ruined my palate. Is when I came in and I saw that Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, and I had a sip of that. I'm like,
it's gorgeous.
Then I'm going to try to drink this.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a little mean to you, Evan. Maybe I was a little mean to you, old Barton guys.
Boy. Is this remorse?
It is.
Yeah, but I just kind of realized that's probably why, because I had a decent sip of a nice, Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye before I started.
For sure.
All right, we'll do it all again very, very soon. Thanks for joining us, and see you next time.
I miss you, Matt.
On the Man Cave Happy Hour.
Sort of.